This week on the Trophy Room, we are talking about a new PlayStation controller that gets hard when pressed. Who? Housemarque crushing it. What are we doing? What's going on in the land of Xbox and so much more here on the Trophy Room. Oh, wait, no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to 484 of the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Badbit, and it is here where we chat about the latest and greatest in all things PlayStation each and every week. Alongside me, the greatest co-host, whoever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. The beard's still blue.
It will stay like that for a while.
Hot dang. Hot dang.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, we are 16 away from episode 500. We need to start planning a big celebration.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Granted, 16 is a small number, but that's 16 weeks. We got time. Fine.
No, we definitely do. But I don't want to do like it's so cliche. It's like we get every guest on. They say something nice.
No, I don't want to do that.
No, it has to be something bad.
We get every guest on. They say something mean.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we all cry.
How about we write up everyone who has ever written a bad review, and we write them on the show, and we hear them out.
All right, I get it. We're an industry plant. Move along, Kyle Stevenson, because it is the lightweight herself. Tegan, how you doing, girl?
Good. So this is like a tangent, but we were talking about Final Fantasy when we were doing our Guess the Game. Yeah. And like 3 years ago, I had a dream. It was a very vivid dream. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to write a book based off this dream. And I wrote like 2 sentences and then I never wrote the book. Well, then this week, randomly, felt the urge to actually write. Sat down, wrote like 3 pages.
Ooh. And
before I was doing that, I was going through and like writing like characters and things down so that I didn't forget them and, plotting and that sort of thing. Sure. And my MMC, main male character, is going to, the description is basically Sephiroth.
Hell yeah.
Because I was like, I had this vision in my head and I was like, wait, I think that kind of looks like Sephiroth. So I'm like looking at pictures of him. I'm like, holy shit, that's Sephiroth. So
that's awesome.
He's going to be the main character, male character, the love interest, if you will.
Well, I got a question for you guys. Okay. Speaking of love interests.
Oh boy.
Does PlayStation know that God of War Laufey comes out after Wolverine, not before? Or sorry, yeah, because every ad that I've been seeing for PlayStation the past like week and a half, it's like God of War Laufey, God of War Laufey. We don't even have a date for it. Wolverine, that's September 14th. It's what's going on here, Kyle Stevenson? Why is PlayStation disrespecting the GOAT that is Wolverine? Is it because he's a short king?
I don't know if they're disrespecting the king that is Wolverine, but part of me is just like with my PR hat on, they're riding the wave of the discussion of God of War and trying to drown out all the haters, which I agree with. Okay. But like we still have time to get the Wolverine hype train going. Yeah.
Like what's it gonna take for us to jump on the Logan bandwagon, the hype train as it were, to get us hyped? Because they said, hey, no limited editions, no collector's editions, no steel books, no statues. Well, then how else am I supposed to get hyped?
You don't think it's a sign that they're not super confident in it, do you?
No, I think that... Oh, now you get that on my head.
Like, why wouldn't you do a collector's edition?
Well...
Unless the other ones weren't selling. But you can't tell me that. I don't believe that for a second.
I think it's more, they're really bad. First off, their storefront's real bad. Kyle and I know for a fact they won't let us buy anything. But I also think they get a little overzealous with the ordering and they order too much. Because I see like you can still buy the Horizon one, you can still buy the Yote, and even the Spider-Man 2 one. So like
collector's editions?
The collector's edition. So
but to not have anything, like they even,
I know.
Or is it dependent on studio? Does the studio decide this is something we want to design or no? And maybe the studio's like, we just want to focus on the game.
I think it sadly comes down to because everything sucks. But they're like, it costs too much.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like we talked about Spider-Man 2, how the budget was so high and they barely made their money back. Like I'm assuming that R&D into the statue and stuff is part of that budget. You know?
That's fair.
I like how you said R&D. Like there's guys in lab coats.
There definitely are, man.
Adamantium.
9 out of 10 dentists say that's a bad idea.
Yeah, exactly.
I do think that in terms of like trailers and stuff, the reason why they have been quiet is because I think they kind of know they don't really need to sell it. Like, our path speaks for us. People are really excited for this, and less can be more in some instances.
Well, the person I've ever met in my whole entire life, Luke Moore, says I think Wolverine is going to underperform, just like how he underperforms in the bedroom.
Whoa.
Listen, if the joystick can get the little purple pill, then so can Wolverine sales. Okay.
I do just want to shout out. I like what JD said in chat that Comic-Con is also soon, so maybe they're just waiting for a big Wolverine presence there.
Oh, that's true. Okay, yeah, I could very much see that.
Genie.
Yeah, no, I think that's where we'll see like the controller or something.
We'll probably see maybe a little bit more of like the open world hub setting if there is one, because I think that's my main criticism of what we've seen so far is what are we doing in between these big story missions, because we've only seen like story stuff and not really traversal or a hub of some sort type of thing.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, well, they said this is all super linear. This is not a big open world game. This is just they got a story to tell, which I'm all for. I do think I'll listen. I think Luke is correct to an extent. I don't think it's going to do Spider-Man numbers, but God of War, Jesus Christ. But Wolverine is absolutely going to do numbers. I think outside of GTA, I think this game's going to do pretty darn well. I think it'll do just fine, which is why I think they don't need the social media presence, right?
But then why not sell at least a controller or a faceplate?
A faceplate would be awesome. Like that, I would be. Give me just. And they're so lazy. Just put yellow side panels on.
That's why I'm confused, and that's why I'm like, it's not that they don't have confidence, right? Because like I loved Yote. Okay, don't get me wrong. But what do you mean Yote gets a controller and a faceplate and Wolverine gets nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Is it just because it's hard to make a cool Wolverine design? I wouldn't think so. You're talented. Figure it out.
I truly think it just comes
make
down to
DualSense yellow with some slash marks in it and call it a day.
It's
blood
not
splatter.
Hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's gonna be blood on it. Yeah. No, you know what? I'm not gonna buy into the woke mind virus. I think we're going to see
Wolverine's a girl confirmed.
Oh no. We play as X-23 instead.
Exactly. You play X-23 in Mission 2 and it's so fucking cringe. No, I think we're gonna see a Wolverine PS5. I'd like to believe that.
I also would like to believe we're at least getting a DualSense. They're just waiting. Maybe that's the Comic-Con thing.
Yeah,
who knows?
That has to be
the Comic-Con announcement or something.
Yeah.
That said, just like what X-Bacon, just like X-Bacon Gaming said in the chat here. Let's hit the like button. Let's smash that like button. Let's hit that subscribe button, the hype button, as it were. Whatever buttons that need to be hit, share it out on socials. It's on the Blue Sky. It's on the X. All that good stuff. That said, as well, go rate us 5 stars over on iTunes, over on Spotify. That also helps us out a whole bunch. And a huge shout out to our patrons. The reason why we look so good, sound so great is because of your generosity over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. And yes, I finally got over the jet lag literally yesterday of being in California, going to SGF, all because of your amazing patronage over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room, because of your super chats, because of your memberships and your donations. Thank you all so much. I finally got out the SGF hangover episode where we're all still so tired. I don't know what we even talk about, guys. I don't even know if it's the right episode. You guys tell me. Patreon.com/PS Trophy Room.
Does one of you have the picture where I shoved myself in the SGF letter?
I think I have that.
Because I haven't gotten that picture yet. I want to post it.
I have several people inside of letters.
Yeah, the one where we all like wedged in there.
Yeah, I think.
Did Luke take that picture? I think Luke might have.
Luke, do you have that picture? Can you send it to me?
please.
Because didn't we also do your lockpick picture, right? Like right after that.
Yeah, but he did that on my phone though.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I want the one that I got stuck in the letter in though.
Yeah.
That said, gang, listen, we certainly have an episode. Certainly have one. It's a tough one this week.
Way to tee it up.
Yeah, man. I mean,
got one.
It's a heavy one. So that said, let's get right into it. Kyle Stevenson, of course, we're going to shout out all of our amazing patrons at the end of the show, but it's finally time here to square up the news. In a new segment I like to call Controllers That'll Make You Hard. Ooh woo. Kyle, can we get an ooh woo?
Ooh woo. Jordan Midler over at VGC writes, Sony patents PlayStation controller with buttons that can get harder or trap your fingers. The patent, which was published late last month and uncovered wild that this is the story this week. I'll get to Jordan's writing in a second. But someone was looking at the Divinity statue from Game Awards last year. Was like, you know what? I got an idea.
I'll trap your fingers, baby.
I got an idea.
Some guy in R&D, he's like calling out for help. It's stuck on the touchpad this time.
Jordan writes, the patent, which was published late last month and uncovered by Cheat Happens, describes buttons made of smart, magnetically responsive composite materials that will soften or harden depending on the strength of the magnetic field. Essentially, the controller would be able to change the feel of the controls by altering button hardness in real time to enhance game immersion, similar to the PS5 DualSense controller's existing haptic feedback. For example, the buttons could soften when a player character is walking through a swamp and harden when they're climbing a rocky surface, it's claimed. The patent also describes how the theoretical controller could create a finger grab effect where buttons soften to let the fingers sink in and then harden to hold them, simulating being grabbed in-game. I feel like this needs to be paywalled somewhere.
Right.
The ability to soften...
Why am I getting hard right now?
The ability to soften or harden buttons could also be used for accessibility purposes, it's claimed, making it easier for disabled players to play. Sony regularly patents new ideas for control methods, and it's worth noting that they won't necessarily lead to real products. Earlier this year, the PlayStation firm obtained a U.S. patent for a special controller with a touchscreen that lets players choose where the buttons should go and resize elements like the D-pad. Sony is also seemingly exploring ways to integrate AI into future PlayStation consoles, as it's acquired a patent for the creation of bespoke AI-generated podcasts starring video game characters. Boy, I forgot about that. And a new technology that would see PlayStation games play themselves with the help of AI. Also forgot about that.
Stupid. Oh man! All right, Kyle Stevenson. Hands, where are they? All right, where were they when you were reading that up?
I'm not. You're touching buttons. I don't know.
Fair enough. So I think Jesse Ray Townsend writes in like you can't do if you're part of the live chat, and you can ask your questions if you head on over to the Discord server. They ask a very good question. Does it shrink if it goes into the pool? Kyle Stevenson, what are you thinking?
Probably.
Probably.
Probably. You gotta think there's somebody created this. They are so out of touch. Yeah. There's no way anyone would find an issue with this. This sounds cool. Okay.
If you can modify controllers, the hear me out implications when you play games, impeccable.
Yeah. I mean, they're going
the opening of Dispatch episode 4 or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, the attachments for this thing are gonna be pretty. You know what? Let them cook.
But part of me thinks that this idea happened because of all the backlash of how female video game characters are not hot enough. Right. And they're like, you know what? Let's make a controller to prove that these people are attracted to these female characters. And prove them wrong.
It's all pheromones and what have you.
Yeah,
all right. It's so stupid.
You know what? Add this to the haptic vest and the cap. We got a full sensory experience, you know?
Play it with date everything.
Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, this goes into the whole like smell-o-vision type of thing. Like they were even like, hey,
well,
exactly.
There was an appointment for that at PAX. I think there was a company there that was doing it.
But there was a patent for a PlayStation controller that emits smells. It's like, guys, I love the haptic feedback of the controller, the triggers, all that. I can't make it clear enough. I hate this. This sounds like something I don't want to take part of, and should be
you mean
so
you don't
that
like
a
it when
romantic
something
feedback.
grabs your fingers?
No, I don't like it. That would freak me out. That would freak me out. You kidding me? I'm just here to press X, and then all of a sudden it takes my thumb. Get away from me. I don't like that.
Well, I mean, you have to warm it up a little bit first. You don't just straight go into the.
Absolutely.
Listen, if you when your lover is Luke's mom, you don't even know that.
To quote Friends,
it's you know.
We need to do a little X triangle, circle, 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 circle.
I mean, as you say that,
you got to put in the G codes.
Exactly. It makes new light of like the God of War minigame, in 1 and 2 and 3,
or your GTA,
or hot coffee. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. What if it's the girl bath scene?
Oh, my buttons will be hard.
All right, that's enough of this. So yeah, that's a dumb little patent that'll never see the light of day. I thought, listen, what a nice way to warm us up.
Oh, it's warmed us up, all right.
Just the way Tika just said, "Oh, my buttons will be hard," got me. Oh yeah.
To prepare for, really some bad news. But wait, no. There's still some good news here. Light at the end of the tunnel type of stuff in a segment I like to call "Waiting for the Sound of the Second Shoe to Drop." This comes from Shinobi's breakdown of the game business interview where Christopher Dring interviewed the Housemarque developers. So take it away, Kyle.
So these are all just bullet points from that interview. Again, if you want to go check it out, go to Shinobi. Now truly a PlayStation first party. Lots of help from other parts of the organization. Studio has quadrupled since 2017's Nex Machina, now around 120 people total. Team feels good about Saros continuing to sell. We'll keep supporting and updating the game. Acknowledges it took time for Returnal to gain traction and interest grew post-launch. Goal is to keep building hardcore game experiences and hope to grow that niche genre, inspired by things like FromSoftware's journey from Kingsfield to what they are today. Looking at multiple opportunities of what to tackle next.
Okay, so that's a good 30-minute interview summed up in about a minute. But they even said, hey, listen, next game might not be as big as Saros, but we really think that we have something here and we want to explore this. And I think, honestly, Kyle, I know we were talking about this, I think around the time of Saros, where it's like, listen, Saros did not light the world on fire. Totally get that. It has its problems narratively. But there's something here for people to get lost in. So I like that PlayStation is still, from what we see so far, believing in this, growing it, and seeing the FromSoftware maybe parallels that they're like, hey, these are risks and investments that we're willing to take over time with this team to grow it. Are you a little nervous for next month when they fire half these people? Let's be real.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Right?
Yeah, it's not great vibes, and I'm trying to take this as exciting things because this is all super exciting. I think the one thing from it that I love to read and hear is that they're inspired from FromSoftware's journey.
Yes.
From 100%. The old school Kingsfield to what they are today and just how they continue to grow on a genre that let's face it, they've invented and perfected, and Housemarque knows their genre, knows how to make those twitchy bullet hell games so perfectly that just has me excited to see what they will continue to do and invent on and add to it to the point of like, well, what if we're not hopping between levels? What if it's just a giant open world, like an Elden Ring? That'd be sick. That'd be so cool. But like, I'm trying to stay positive and not hopefully hop on here, episode 500, be like, well, the Housemarque is now down to 40 people out of the 120, or like,
I
don't want to think about that.
Yeah, no, I think the benefit for Housemarque is where they're based out of. We've I think it's Jason Schreier when talking about how much it takes or how much it costs to make a game. He said something roughly around the size of like, hey, listen, you could get, one of the reasons why Poland is blowing up right now with talent and dev studios is not only is it being subsidized by the government, but 4 or 5 of these developers it is the cost of one US dev, right? It's just the area in which, they're stationed is fairly cheap to make games out of. So if they're like, hey, listen, we think Helsinki is a great hub for video games, or the next big hub for video games that was Montreal for a very long time, then awesome. Maybe that subsidizes the cost of development where Saros is a smaller loss or maybe a little gain as well. That's great. That's awesome. And I love to see them explore not just, development sizes or scopes of projects, but also explore the globe a little bit, right? I think one of the things that PlayStation's been doing right is like their hero project initiatives. You have the India Hero Project, the Korean Hero Project, China Hero Project. I think even Japan has one as well. So it's like awesome. Go throw money at developers and teams in areas that are quote unquote undiscovered, but also might be a little cheaper to make your games. Where like a game like Stellar Blade that could sell 2 to 3 million units is a huge boon for that team. What's it? Skill Up, right? So maybe they're the ones that invented that controller.
Shift Up.
Sorry. Did I say Skill Up? Whoops.
You did.
Yeah, Shift Up. So it's like, I think that's a really smart way for them to tackle the rising cost of games. But I am curious behind the scenes what Saros is, what they know they had, but also just to see that they're still growing. Maybe that's also to quell concerns of just like, hey, we're not going anywhere. We get it. Saros didn't light the world on fire, but we're still here. We're still growing. They still believe in us. I think that's all right. So dare I say I'm a little optimistic, just a little bit. Is there anything from this list that you read though that intrigues you, Kyle Stevenson? Anything from this list? I think one of them is like now truly a PlayStation first party.
That's what I was going to say, because to me they were already. So like I can't fathom them after the success of Returnal, them not already feeling like they were truly a PlayStation first party. I know that's weird to say.
Yeah.
But like critically, Returnal, I mean, that was our game of the year that year.
Yeah.
Like it is many people's favorite PlayStation game.
Yeah.
Of this generation. So
if you're a PlayStation sicko, it's up there.
Sure, absolutely. But the fact that now they're feeling like a first party after Saros is wild to me, because I feel like they should have already felt like they were.
I think it's been a slow ramp up because, Saros was a project between Housemarque and still XDev. That's what I thought was always so peculiar about it. It's like, why is it still XDev? Like, Nixus was helping on the art of the game. It's like, what? Interesting. Like, very, very interesting that Saros was like this co-developed thing alongside other support studios within PlayStation. But hopefully that also means, hey, they get a bigger budget for next game. They explore maybe new genres, or we take that genre and do something else with it. Awesome. Awesome to see that they're not just giving up on it. Light, as you're back from probably doing mommy duties.
Yes.
I know you're not a Saros girly or a FromSoftware Housemarque stan, but in the current landscape where everybody is folding after a failure or even after a successful game. I just saw Luna Abyss, a game that came out like less than a month ago. The whole team's out of a job. How do you feel about some hope? Hey, this is a studio. Game didn't light the world on fire, but they say, hey, we're still growing. We're still doing big things. We feel like we're officially a part of PlayStation First Party. Does that give you some optimism?
It does. I think it's a sign of a studio that has realistic expectations. And I think that's what a lot of these, maybe not necessarily the studios, but the bigwigs running the conglomerates have unrealistic expectations. And I feel like Housemarque is an example of one that was like, okay, here's what we realistically are aiming for. And maybe we didn't meet those metrics, but that's not the end of the world. We surpassed them with the first one, and we know we can do it again. One failure does not mean we are failures.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say Saros was a failure. I don't think it probably did as well as they thought it was going to do based off of the feedback that I've seen on social media and heard people say. So it's refreshing. I wish more studios had the grace to be able to do that, or even just the wiggle room with budget to be able to do that.
Yeah. I think like I know a lot of people are saying the Midwest is the goat for cost of living. Also got to think about internet speeds as well. I know that's, yeah, we're talking about moving big chunks of data back and forth, right? But also like when it comes to what you just said, I think a lot about Metroid Prime 4. That game came out, debatably sold over 1 million units. It's a Metroid game, and it was very long in development. And so, and that team goes, no, we're still making it. Don't worry. We're still here. We're still making the next Metroid game. You just hold on. So I think, was it Mercury Steam or something like that? So it's like, okay, awesome that they're still doing it, even when the game's a bit of a like a notch on the belt, as it were, or a notch to the team. They're still going at it, and they're still, Nintendo gives them the grace to go, hey, listen, we know we handed you a product that, or a project that was unsalvageable, and you salvaged it some way, somehow. So here's the next game. Awesome. Love to see it. That said, Jonathan Kelly says, hello, all finally made it.
Hi.
It's been a few weeks. I know. This is the first week where we're actually recording on a Wednesday night. Feels good. That said, Kyle Stevenson, here's a little quick one. Have you guys seen that there's a Spider-Man coming out in about a month?
I did.
Have you guys seen this? Have you guys heard about this?
Uh-huh.
They're putting out a Spider-Man skin based on the game, and it's going to be out on July 28th at no additional cost via an in-game update. That comes from Warrior64. So for you Spider-Man stands and sickos, I already got my tickets. Hey, jump back into Spider-Man 2.
Hey, also, Spider-Man is also super excited about that controller we talked about, because look at this popcorn bucket.
What are we doing here? What the like, come on. What is this?
Yeah. That's a popcorn bucket and drink in one. So it's a combo thing. So,
It's definitely a fluid.
Oh, Katie says, look at the Supergirl one. I'll look that up.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Is it bad?
That is a penis.
No. Is it really?
It is.
Oh my God.
Put it up on screen.
Put it up.
You're talking about the cup, right?
Yeah, just make sure it's
with the trench coat.
Yeah. Oh, this is bad.
There's a cursed movie popcorn bucket Hall of Fame. And the Dune
That's
bucket,
bad.
the penis cup, and the wet slinger are all going to be in it.
Yeah, I think that's top 3 right there.
Did the Wolverine and Deadpool popcorn buckets as well, because they leaned into the
100%.
sexual popcorn buckets. Have you seen those, Light?
I don't know if I saw
It's
those
the Wolverine face, but his mouth is just a giant open hole.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That cup is wild.
Nasty work.
That's insane.
Nasty work. Who said that? Speedy? God bless. All right, gang. All right, enough fun. Okay?
Enough fun.
Fun.
All right.
Time for a new segment called
My buttons are not hard.
Exactly. My buttons are deflated.
My D-pad has shrunk.
Exactly.
Charlie Champion over at Insider Gaming writes, Bungie reportedly set to lose around 400 staff members as a result of summer layoffs. Following the sunsetting of Destiny 2 and the generally underwhelming performance of Marathon, it seems that Bungie is set for a wave of layoffs this summer, with at least 50% of its workforce on the chopping block. The percentage is significant enough as is, but when you consider the size and scope of Bungie, which has around 800 staff members, that would mean at least 400 employees are at risk of losing their jobs. The news comes from French journalist Sylvain on Twitter, who shared in a recent tweet that Bungie should expect massive layoffs this summer. He went on to elaborate that based on what he's hearing, at least 50% of Bungie's staff could be affected. This all stems from the current state of Bungie's two prominent titles, Destiny 2 and Marathon. With regards to Destiny 2, it's been a mess all around. Despite fan outcry, Destiny 2 received its final ever update, and there's no sign of Destiny 3 in sight. Petitions may have been signed, and fans crashed the Destiny servers on the day of the update, but it doesn't seem like enough for Sony to give Bungie the green light. And then there's Marathon. Critics may have reviewed it well, Insider Gaming included, and players who tried it have generally enjoyed the game, but that hasn't been enough to stop it from being an underwhelming release.
Yeah, man. It sucks to see. Bungie is one of my favorite studios of all time. They're the reason why I'm a gamer today. And this is just a bummer to hear, you know. I don't know, Kyle Stevenson, you take it away, my friend.
I mean, it feels like we're just repeating the same things every time layoffs happen, but I truly, truly, truly wish that the people in charge are the ones that, get the consequences, not the people that work so damn hard and sacrifice so much to make a product that millions of people play and enjoy, or sometimes don't enjoy. But like, regardless of whether or not you like Destiny, or you liked, like you said, Aluna Abyss, the indie game, or you like the Blue Point game, like, nobody deserves to put that much work in just to get laid off, depend whether the game's good or not. This comes down to management, mismanagement, and I'm so sick and tired of those people not being the ones for the consequences there.
Or when they leave, they get the golden parachute, and that pisses me off even more.
That pisses me off so much.
Because I think the one thing that is constantly repeated about the Bungie situation is how piss poor that management was. Mm-hmm. I know there's been that story circulating of like, or circulating again of like, we got extra years out of Destiny we shouldn't have. That PlayStation deal, in retrospect, trust me, when we talk about the Xbox about it, it's going to be similar things of like, bought that game some more time. That their backs were already against the wall. But it's also the management, Pete Parsons. I heard a lot of folks talking about the new HQ that didn't need to be built, but built anyway, was the cost of like four projects. It's just a company that did not understand how to grow effectively, and the hubris of management that just didn't think the game could slow down. I don't know. Like, what do you make of all this?
Yeah, it sucks because I feel like Bungie is one of those names where even if you're not necessarily a huge gamer, it's a company that you've heard of. It's been a staple in the industry for what feels like forever. So you hate to see it happen at all, but when it's one of the, I would argue, bigger names like this, it's extra scary because if you're like a layperson, you kind of think like, oh, if something's going wrong for them, what does that mean for everybody else? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the solution is. It sucks that we're going to have so many stories about this today and every day for a long time, I think. And I agree. I wish that there was something where, executives had to take a cut. If, I'm not saying Destiny and Bungie in particular is an example of this, but we have seen many times where Sony is pushing for specific things, and then that blows back, and it's the studios that take the hit and not the executives who made those decisions. So you wish that there was a way that the person calling those shots had to take the blame and not the creatives doing what they're told. And it scares me because with a situation like Marathon, you guys correct me if I'm wrong because I really don't know enough about it, but I think this is something that they wanted to make, right? Like this was like a passion project for them, something that they wanted to do. I worry that we're going to see a lot less of those because the big wigs are going to want things that they deem to be safe and they know are going to make money.
And I
kind
think
of ties into something we're going to see with Xbox too, with the comment that Asha made about focusing on like the Elder Scrolls and the
pillars.
the pillars, and that leaves less room for creativity. And that's, scary because we are not going to see those breakout games that take the world by storm, like an Expedition 33, if we're only focused on doing things that we know are going to sell.
Yeah. And I think when we take a look at like Marathon was not supposed to be the game that also is like the thing lifting Destiny up. Like this was a passion project. This was a small incubated team from Destiny. Then throughout the years, I think with like the development started with like 2021 or 2022. Like it was a quick turnaround in AAA standards. So like we're reaching full in full production. So it's like this was never supposed to be the big thing. This is like they understood extraction shooters, very niche, a huge risk. I remember, seeing folks outside the scenes like we should be rooting for this. We shouldn't be cheering for its downfall just because it's not Destiny 3 because we're not going to get Destiny 3 if this thing buckles and fails. And I think part of it, like you're right. We're going to see less creativity out of these teams. We're going to see more safe bets because game development and game development as is right now is hit a point where it's kind of at its breaking point. Games are taking 5, 6, 7 years to make, and the solutions aren't favorable. We've taught the audience, or they've taught the audience, we need bigger, more bombastic, best graphics, all the physics of all the fruit on display. Like everything needs to be the biggest, bestest looking thing in order for it to be marketed well. And what does that lead to? It leads to longer dev cycles. It leads to more bloated experiences, and it becomes, the games become the checklist games, where you take a look at so many AAA games, they're all starting to feel the same because they all got to add in little aspects of other games to get maybe someone who likes Animal Crossing to like the base building in Assassin's Creed Shadows. And it should just be focused on, hey, maybe this game doesn't need to sell, for example, Spider-Man 3, 9 million units just to break even for Sony. Maybe this could be a smaller thing. It maybe hits 5 million and it's a huge success. And I think you see that out of things like Expedition 33, where it's like Expedition 33, correct me if I'm wrong, hasn't sold 10 million units. I think it's around like 6 or 7. It'll approach it. It'll hit it for sure. But it's like, that's a huge success for Kepler because they are such a smaller publisher in comparison to, if that was Square Enix, that's a failure because those budgets are bloated. But also, and I hate to be that guy, and I'll be prepared for booze, but like the other things that people are offering is like, hey, maybe AI could quicken the development on certain aspects, and then everybody's like, AI, they're like, let's load up our guns, and so it's just like, no matter where you turn, there's an unfavorable thing. It's like we're either gonna have huge teams, long cycles, and they can't miss, or we can have teams working on projects quicker. Maybe they're more efficient, but we're eventually going to hit that ceiling again anyway. So I don't know, man. It's kind of fucked.
I also just want to add that it feels like Sony is doing the same thing that Asha said about like sticking to the hits without confirming it out loud, because Insomniac is Marvel at this point. You've got Guerrilla making how many Horizon games or Horizon IP out there?
Yeah.
Santa Monica has how many God of War games in development currently? So we are seeing that, and that bums me out because it's always my example, and I want more studios to do it. Of like, Guerrilla went from Killzone to Horizon, to wildly different things. Naughty Dog went from Crash Bandicoot to Uncharted. Wildly different things. Like, I want more studios to take those risks, and it feels like we're at a place where it's becoming that joke you see in movies and TVs of like, oh, there's Superman 42. Because they just keep doing new stories in the same universe, and that's not what I want to happen. Am I excited for all the God of War games? Hell yeah, I am. But like, I want to see more creativity and hop into new worlds and new characters and stuff.
Yeah. And I just don't think you're going to get that out of these publishers anymore, or at least you're going to see way few of them. Like, I'll say this. I like how Santa Monica's approaching it. It's like, hey, we're building this vast universe that's interconnected. You know, they talked about Kratos being the guy that's driving the car, and these other side characters are filling up the universe along the sides. Like, that's really cool. But like, yeah, like Intergalactic, probably the last new IP we're going to see from Naughty Dog in a very long time. But you're totally right. You're going to see more or less and less. But I would say that's also it's a little doom and gloom, because it's like, as we say, okay, yeah, everybody, we don't, creativity suffers. Like Luke said something in the chat here going, I mean, what? No, I'd never. But Arkham, it's like, we all want Rocksteady to make an Arkham game again, right? So I do think there's like this balance of things that we think we want. We think we want Rocksteady to make something new, but what I think we really want is Rocksteady to make something that feels like Arkham but looks different. I think when we take a look at like, Naughty Dog, right? It's like, hey, as much as I love Intergalactic, I can go for an Uncharted. And I think in the AA and indie scene is where you get that the gaps get filled of the creativity. Like, say what you want about James Bond. I know it's a huge IP, but hear me out here. That is a studio that self-published the first title and developed it. And literally the CEO himself then co-directed the game. And the game feels like a James Bond movie. It doesn't feel like the same AAA game that I've been playing for the past, 5 years, where it's all open world collectathon. It's like, no, this is a spy espionage. Hey, do you miss aspects of Splinter Cell and Hitman in video games? Here it is, right? You're seeing Mina the Hollower, games that are smaller and they sell smaller, but those successes are bigger for them. So I don't know, man. I think to make my TED talk / rant over is like, I think maybe we stop thinking about Bungie with the nostalgia glasses and think about like the game that we're playing currently, if that makes sense. Like, because I feel like we think about BioWare going, oh my God, if only they made another Mass Effect. But it's like, hey, how about if we just think about it of love Mass Effect? What does, what's that game? Exodus have to offer for me, if that makes sense, right?
I think some of it too, though, is like, I think there can be a happy medium where we get what Kyle's saying, where we get something new and more creative. But then also, like I said, I've been waiting for Elder Scrolls 6 for how many years now? We wanted another Arkham game. And I don't want something like Arkham, but better. I want another Arkham game. I want another Left 4 Dead game. I want another Elder Scrolls game. But maybe that's not all you do. Maybe you bounce back and forth, similar to what Naughty Dog is doing with The Last of Us, Uncharted, now Intergalactic, so that when you do go back to those IP that you love, you're excited to get another one because there's been time. The team has been able to have time to get creative and do what they want to do. But then you get to go back to the game that you love with the feel that you love. And that's difficult now with how long these development cycles are taking. So I think if we want that, we have to be okay with smaller games. But again, gamers want it all, but it's not possible. It's not possible to have brand new IP while also having the nostalgia IP, while also having faster turnaround times if you don't want it to be 16 years between when you're playing.
Yeah.
So I mean, we kind of have to make some concessions, and the problem is I put myself in this too. I don't want to make concessions. I want it all. I want my cake and I want to eat it.
I think what
but
you
that's just not the
described,
reality.
yeah, I think what you described is like conditioning the audience to go, hey, this is what you want, right? Like PlayStation has a problem where it's conditioned to its audience to go, hey, you want attention to detail, all the detail in the whole goddamn world. You want to see the pores on, Ellie's face and the scars on the gun, these details that don't really matter much, but well, here it is. Like these games will blow your mind when you see them and you play them. And all those big attention to detail or little like nooks and crannies. But then when a game that's smaller like a Saros comes out, people are like, yeah, but you know, I don't see all I don't see the detail of Raul's face. It's and the community kind of checks out on it. So
or 30 hours of a game isn't
One-
enough, or like
100%.
another one I see. But
Yeah.
I like what Jeannie said. People hate them, but I love Gotham Knights, Anthem, and Suicide Squad because there's something new in the looter shooter. But that's what I mean too. Suicide Squad, I really enjoyed that. But now go back and make another Arkham game. You did something new. You did something creative. You did something fun. Sure, it didn't land, but it didn't land because people have been begging for another Arkham game. So now give us another Arkham game and then do a different thing that you want to try.
That's what I want. I don't want successive new entries in an IP right after each other. Do something different and then come back.
But don't take 15 years to make
a million percent. It is a fine line. It's tough because again, you want to be successful enough to stay around and continue making games, but I feel like the future video games will not continue to move forward creatively unless you take those risks.
I think it's like, I think the picture perfect thing is like a CD Project Red, where it's like, hey, you got Cyberpunk and you got Witcher, and their whole thing of like, and we want to make a Witcher trilogy in 7 years. Okay, that's ambitious, but like going back and forth, that's awesome. But at the same exact time, it's like you have something like a Starfield, right? Where it's like you're in between Fallout and Elder Scrolls, and then you get a Starfield that doesn't light the world on fire. It doesn't do what it needs to do. And then all of a sudden, even Bethesda Studios, the untouchable one, is very much touchable. And, their backs are against the wall going, okay, maybe we need to go back to basics with Elder Scrolls. Like, even as we say all that, it's like perfect world scenario. We make games that come out in 3 years instead of 5. You're still dealing with, I think, the vastness that is games. Like Jeff Keighley put out that chart of like, hey, there's 9,000 games that came out this year and bragged about it like it's a good number. It's like, that's too many games. Like we're suffering in a sea of choice right now. And so it's like, as we say, like we want all these new games. How do you make them in 3 years, man?
You make them smaller.
But again, the audience is just like, I want that. I want the 40-hour experience, or we say we want that.
Then it's up to the studios and the publishers to educate the public on this is what it is, this is what you're getting, and it's up to the marketing to do their job and set those expectations. Because
then you're gonna have douchebag McGee going, "Hey, look at."
But they're always
Kratos uses the same animation. Lazy
gives
developers.
a fuck about those people.
And then you look at them and you say, "Then don't play." But the reality is, they still play.
Yeah.
So they can be as noisy as they want. It's free marketing because they're still gonna play. The guys is gonna be, I'm playing it to see all the woke bullshit, but they're still gonna play. Let them be noisy.
I don't know, because the thing is, it's like you take a look at Marathon and the Hate Brigade won that one, man. It's like every little like thing, they just pinged it. It's not Destiny 3, it's woke, I can't fuck Vandal, I'm upset, and then it just the constant controversies around it just killed it. That's what I'm afraid for a lot of these games. It's like, yeah, no, it's not this collectathon 50-hour thing, but and then people kind of just tune out. It's like, I think the solution is what you guys are saying. It's just, how do we recondition the mainstream audience to go, hey, this is the route we're taking, and this is the benefit for the shorter game.
It's not an easy road. It's a difficult road, but I think it's a better road to go down. It's not going to be overnight, for sure.
And I think, unfortunately, right now, the gaming space is a zoomed in version of society as a whole right now that we're dealing with.
Sure.
And until that shifts and pops, we're going to see it on the smaller scale of gaming. But it is going to shift and pop because we are at a boiling point and it is going to change. Yeah. Just look at history. That's just how it works. We are going to see that shift here too, because that loud minority is indicative of the other things happening in society. And that's not going to last. It's not going to stay.
In a segment I like to call Mr. Xbox is thinking about the end. Kyle Stevenson.
Oh, well, you skipped one from Wario 64.
Oh, sorry.
Call of Duty Black Ops and Black Ops 2 officially announced for PlayStation coming in July from Iron Galaxy. Both will include campaign, multiplayer, and zombies.
Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2 coming out, baby. Let's go. We're going to hit multiplayer, boys.
I'm happy for everyone that will be enjoying that.
I'll be playing it. Like, what about you? You hopping in?
Not yet.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna play. What's the one with I think his name is Ghost, the guy with the mask. Is that Modern Warfare?
Oh.
What's he in?
Well, there's one called Ghost, but I don't think he's in it. But there's people with the masks there. Modern Warfare 1 2018.
Maybe? I think I'm gonna play. I think I'm gonna get the next Call of Duties. I think are gonna be Modern Warfare, the ones that I'm playing.
Okay. Fair enough. Ooh, right in time for 4. Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
All right, Kyle Stevenson, Mr. Xbox is thinking about the end.
Sammy Barker over at Push Square writes, several Xbox studios at risk of closure in talks to become independent. In another update, this time from Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier, it stated several Xbox first-party developers are at risk of closure and are currently in talks about being spun out to become independent. Among the teams, 3 of the developers specifically named are Compulsion Games, We Happy Few, and South of Midnight, Double Fine, Psychonauts, Keeper and Kiln, and Ninja Theory, Hellblade. Sources speaking to Bloomberg claim that studios are, quote, in active negotiations to spin off as they try to thwart closure, end quote. An excerpt from Jason by Idle Sloth, quote, those 3 studios that I mentioned are just the beginning. There's going to be more. There are a lot of negotiations going on right now, end quote. One more thing is that you might see headlines right now saying, hey, Xbox is shutting down X studio. And while that's kind of true, it's not entirely true because, again, all of these studio heads are in conversations, in negotiations with Xbox at the moment. In some cases, we might see studios spinning off. In some cases, we might see studios trying to find other buyers, like other publishers who might be interested in them. So it's not like nothing has been kind of executed just yet. That is going to happen in a few weeks. So again, the full picture is not entirely clear. We will see it happening soon. We will find out more in the next few days and weeks, end quote.
Gang, listen, I get it. We're a PlayStation podcast. But the reality is the publishers that Microsoft own account for them being the second largest publisher in the gaming industry, right? We're talking about the games that are coming to PlayStation or may not. Who even fucking knows anymore? And so we're going to try our very hardest and our darndest not to lead this into a console war talk, because as you saw, we just spent 20 minutes calling the folks at the management at Bungie dumb idiots. And I forgot to mention, PlayStation also thought it was a good idea to announce the closure of Destiny on the heels of what could have been a comeback for Marathon. But then we saw the constant comparisons between Marathon and Destiny 2. Congratulations, Sony. You guys are fucking idiots. So as I say that, understand, we're going to be very critical, but it's because we love the industry and the folks that make these games. And I think I'm going to say things that are going to make both sides very, very, very upset at me. That said, the too long didn't read part of it is, Right now, we know of 3 studios, right? Double Fine, Compulsion, and Ninja Theory, surprisingly enough. So let's first talk about Double Fine and Compulsion. I think those 2 are the smaller ones. I think if we thought about studios that could be on the chopping block, I think these 2 probably were at the top of mind for everyone. And yeah, Kyle, take it away.
I mean, where do you want me to start?
How does it make you feel? Because I remember Phil Spencer coming out here 2017 going, hey, look at, we announced all these companies we're buying because we're real in it as a publisher.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all in it on Game Pass. And this is going to be the content, you know, he didn't say this part, but it's like these games are going to be the content filler in between the big games that you'll play on Game Pass.
I mean, I will say how I felt back then. Less for Compulsion because I didn't play We Happy Few, but I knew how talented they were in their art and just visual aesthetic. But I remember when Phil came on and they did the whole thing like we were purchasing. What was the full list? It was Undead Labs, Playground, Compulsion, Double Fine, Ninja Theory, I think.
Yeah.
I remember us sitting here and be like, man, Ninja Theory and Double Fine are huge gets. Because they are some of the most talented people in the industry. They make great games. And I remember back then I was bummed that I was going to miss out on them on my PlayStation. Because, again, that's my ecosystem. I don't want to say it over and over again. It just is what it is. I think this fucking sucks a whole lot. And it's a real bummer. And we'll get my thoughts more aligned and my anger more aligns to the next part of the story, but I will wait. Of just putting on that grand show and talking the talk and being like, hey, we're back. And then just all downhill. And it like all that goodwill. I saw it firsthand. All that goodwill. I walked out of that Xbox event during SGF and like, man, it's so cool how Xbox treats their player base. It felt so nice.
Yeah.
And what a welcoming community. I was jealous that PlayStation didn't get to do that or does not do that anymore. And then just like this news, again, it's less player base and more just, you know, thinking money first and bottom line business. It sucks. I don't like it. It's a bummer. Those are a lot of people that are going to be hopefully not out of jobs, but at least on shaky grounds for a little bit. But yeah, I'll let Light go because I want to save for the next bit.
Yeah, it sucks. I think what we're seeing partially is, I think when Phil was in charge, he was through and through a gamer. He was a gamer that was appreciative of the art of gaming. And I think he truly believed there was a space for games of all different types and sizes and art styles. And when he was, you know, part of the team buying up everything and promoting Compulsion Games and Double Fine and Ninja Theory and things like that, is because he is a gamer through and through. He genuinely loves video games and he genuinely loves playing video games of all varieties. I think now that Asha is in there, she's a business person. I think we kind of talked about this last week too, but she's a business person and she does not have any sentimental attachments to the art of a video game. And to the artistic side of that. And she's just looking sheerly at numbers at this point. And obviously we don't officially know anything yet. But I think it sucks because I think I wish there was like a happy medium, but I think Xbox at this point, like Silcanic joked, the catch was they're back before 2015 when they bought all the studios. And that is unfortunately fitting because they changed the name back to all caps lock Xbox like it used to be. The logo looks like it used to be. So it's like that joke almost fits a little too perfectly. Obviously something needs to give and they kind of need to have a blank slate in order to find their footing and success again. It's just sad that again has to be at the expense of these creatives and these studios. I hope what they can do is spin them off like they did with Toys for Bob. Is that who it is? With like Spyro and all that. Because we're seeing they're seeing success, and that's great. And I hope that these other teams are able to do that. But it is sad. I'm just, call me an optimist, call me a fool, whatever you want. I'm hoping that the information we have is not accurate yet. I'm hoping, since they haven't said anything yet, I'm holding out hope until they do. Do I still think it's gonna be ugly? Yeah, I do. But until I hear from them, I'm just gonna remain hopeful that maybe it's not going to seem as horrific as it does right now. Because I agree, Kyle. It, I play both consoles. I get shit on all the time for being an Xbox gamer on this podcast. I have a very close relationship with Xbox and with a bunch of executives in Xbox. And it breaks my heart seeing decisions that I don't love happening. It breaks my heart going from such a high to immediately such a low.
Yep.
And I hold out hope that they're going to find their footing and it's all going to work itself out. But it fucking sucks and it makes me sad. I don't personally have any attachments to any of these studios, but that doesn't mean that I want to see this happen. I loved Hellblade, but out of all those, that's really the only game I played from any of those studios. But again, we need to let creatives be creative, and all three of those studios are incredibly creative, and it's just sad.
Just to add to that, it blows my mind. South of Midnight won awards.
Yeah.
And they were applauded by Xbox for winning awards.
Sure.
And now they're one of the studios that's going to be closed down.
Because again, Asha only looks at the numbers. They might have won awards, but they didn't sell numbers. And that's what I'm saying. Like with Phil Spencer, the fact that they won awards, amazing under Phil's watch.
I agree.
Under
so
Asha,
this is why I'm wearing the polo today.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is why it's green, by the way. All right.
My buttons just went soft, by the way.
My D-pad shriveled.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. Well, my controller is completely hardened. Katie writes, personally, I feel quite deceived by Asha Sharma and the other heads. They said what a certain crowd wanted to hear, exclusives, etc., then just pulled the rug out. I mean, yes. On the other hand, I see this, and in a prior administration and in a prior time, these purchases made complete sense. They helped reshape and, kind of reimagine what Xbox means in that certain time. But I'm going to be the conservative dad in the room. Yes, Compulsion Games won money. It also costed $100 million to make. And I think when you pull the rug, when you talk about a 3% accountability margin, meaning you're spending 97 cents to earn 3 cents, there's this realization of, okay, these games may have been artsy fartsy, awesome experiences, but they're not turning heads. They're not getting people in seats. And while those games are great, like I love Kiln. Kiln's a great time. Like I really enjoy it. It's a fun multiplayer game. But, and I hate to be that guy, that didn't crack 1,000 on Steam. So as much as I would like to say, yes, awesome. Like these games are beautiful. They're well acted, they're artistic and they take risks. But when the risks don't pay off, then this is what happens. Right. And so it's on one hand, I applaud Phil for not just going, all right, Double Fine, you're making Banjo. But on the other hand, it's like, but these people are maybe out of a job because they're not making Banjo, right? Like Compulsion Games as well. Like, again, I'm not familiar with their game when it comes to We Happy Few, but like that had Steam, that had a lure, that had a fan base. Why not just pour, what you learned into that first game into a grander sequel, right? Even like when we talk about Ninja Theory, which I'm going to be livid, the second game wasn't what fans wanted. Like when people saw it, they were so excited about it. But then when they're like, yeah, so it's more artistic. It's the same similar scope, same similar price. and it's about 4 hours long. People are like, whoa, but that's not what we wanted. We wanted we know what Ninja Theory could cook up. Like, so there has to be a balance between like the art and then the art of making it commercially viable. Because as much as I, as much as I enjoy these games, as much as I enjoy Marathon, it's not putting butts in seats. And it's the sad reality of it. And I applaud them for trying and doing new things. And it's kind of like that sad, okay, I see why they're going. At least they went to bat and they swung. That said, fucking Ninja Theory? Kyle Stevenson, this comes from Steve Tortillo at the Game File. Kyle, could you read that paragraph or two for me?
Most extraordinary, Ninja Theory even debuted a new game, a third Hellblade title called Senua, at the Xbox Game Showcase 2026 on June 7th. By the time that game was revealed, Microsoft had already planned to sunset or split with the studio. The thinking was that the promise of a newly announced game would help draw investor interest in the studio, a source familiar with Microsoft plans told GameFile. It's unclear if anyone atop Ninja Theory was involved in this plan. All of this drama around the studios and the workers likely to be impacted brought to mind another chart, the one you can see on top of the post. So go check out that post for the chart.
Go support Steven Tortillo over at GameFile. Become a member, all that good stuff. Because he's an independent journalist taking that risk, doing that creative endeavor, all for the love of the game, literally. So Kyle Stevenson, we walked into a showcase and we were all blown away at Senua, the third game coming out 2027. But what we really saw was it's seemingly the most expensive eBay listing ever. Take it away, man. Thoughts on Ninja Theory? This is where it gets wild for me. This is where I go, okay, what are we fucking doing here?
This is the part that bums me out the most, because if you knew you were going to shut down the studio, why put it in the show? Right? Like, what? Why? Because that kills all the hype for this game. Because you might have put 2027 on there, but with all this, if this does end up happening, right, it's not going to hit 2027 because they're going to need funding to finish it. It kind of goes back to what I said earlier. It's I think all this lands on the mismanagement of all these things, and I get it, trying to change course and do a reset. But boy, oh boy, I think having it in there was not cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought because Christopher Dring, yet again name drop, did an interview with Matthew Ball, who's the newly appointed Xbox lead strategist over there, or head of strategy. And he's like, okay, so if it's only single player games and whatever have you that are going to be Xbox exclusive, why Ninja Theory with Senua? And he said no comment. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what's your takeaway on this? The Ninja Theory news.
I don't know. I don't know. Again, I want to wait until we actually have information because, yeah, I don't know. I just want to wait till we actually know information. I completely agree with what you said, Joe, with like, if it's not making money, obviously it's not going to stick around. I completely agree with that. If this is true though, it's a weird fucking choice. I am not a business person. It doesn't make sense to me. If I was a business person, maybe it would make sense to me, but I'm not. So I want to wait until we actually have official confirmation from Xbox themselves before speculating on anything, because it's a weird choice. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just a weird choice to put it in there knowing that it's not going to be around, and you have to know that you're going to get a lot of criticism for that, which you can't really afford right now. So I agree that maybe you can't keep the lights on in Ninja Theory and you need to sell it or shutter it. Fine. But if I don't know. If this is real, that it's still weird that you're this was your marketing ploy to get people to invest. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, Luke in the chat going, I've also heard it's true and it sucks. And it sucks, like, Luke, as we're talking about this, how the fuck do I know? You know what I mean? Like, that's how loose lip that community is. I'm sorry. That's the my only fanboyism thing I'm going to say. It's because it's like, first off, we shouldn't know. The fact that we know is fucking crazy. The fact that these teams are learning said news because of Tom Henderson is fucking wild. And not to say blame Tom, it's literally their job is to report things. So I get it. But it's wild to me that if I'm a partner working or thinking about working with Xbox, and let's just say this is all new or this is all true, right? Every single bit of it, and it's even worse than we could possibly imagine, right? Why the fuck would I work with you? Because I've seen you cancel projects from people like the Just Cause devs, right? I've seen you full-blown close down studios and sunset whatever the fuck this is. Why do I work with you? And why is that not a thought going in the head of an Xbox exec right now? It's like, not just are we going to do damage to the brand doing this on a commercial lens for the hardest of hardcore fans, but the damage it's going to do to what if one day we want to walk up to FromSoftware, just an example I'm throwing out there going, hey gang, listen, we want to make a game like Sekiro. What do you guys cook? Or what are you guys cooking up? If I'm FromSoftware, go, why the fuck am I talking to you, dude? Why? So you could kill my project 3 years in and then I'm fucked? No. So to me, that's the wild thing about all of this is while sure they're trying to save face by spinning off some of these teams, it's only doing damage to the brand itself. Like, and at the same exact time, I can understand the math of it. Because if you're Xbox, and I'm sorry for the rant, one last one, but if you're Microsoft, you own 3 of the largest publishers in the world. Activision Blizzard, right? They're doing their thing. They put out multiple games a year and multiple live service games. So, okay, it makes sense why they're around. Cool. But Bethesda and Xbox? Why do I, like, if I'm Asher Sharma, I'm asking, why do I have 2 of these things? When I could condense one of them and fold them into our Xbox studios, keep the Bethesda name all just in name, and just kind of condense our operations, condense our communication so that we're talking with each other, so that we're not just overlapping releases of our games on top of one another. We have clearer communications. That all sounds great, but that's 1,000 jobs. And I think that's the reality of it. I think for the past 6 years, we've been all cheering on these acquisitions unknowingly, or maybe in the back of our head knowing, but unknowingly cheering on these acquisitions, going, yay, competition is the spirit of. And what actually is happening is the hollowing out of legendary publishers, legendary studios. And so it really fucking pisses me off when I see this going like, yeah, no, there is not a single studio that is going to not feel the hurt or the bleed or anything. It's not going to come out unscathed. And it annoys me because it's like we all were like acquisition season, and then acquisition season comes to pass and it's all fucked. Whether it's Xbox doing it, right? Or whether it's PlayStation. PlayStation, again, the last story we just talked about, gonna lay off 400 people.
They closed Bluepoint.
They closed our boy Bluepoint, all because it will make the spreadsheets look a little better. And so this goes to also mention, if you're Asher Sharma and you have a company that's teetering on the brink of red, what is the first release valve that you do to make those numbers look better? You offload a whole bunch of talent so that all of a sudden that 3% becomes 6% and you get a nice little bonus. Yay. Because that's shockingly low. We talk about PlayStation spending a lot of money to be in the position where they are, and they make like 10, 12, 15%. So It's wild. We're in a I don't even know what type of situation we're in. And then at the same exact time going, hey gang, listen, Gears of War, it's exclusive again. It's like, but that game, rumor has it, cost $400 million to make. And not because of the development of the game, but because Coalition goes around to other teams and helps with Unreal, because they are the best studio in the world outside of Epic when it comes to Unreal and Unreal 5. They're literally wizards. So it's like the upkeep of that studio was $400 million to go make this game, and you're going to cap one of the lead platform, the platform that makes the most money, just so you could appease 16 fanboys, because you could appease Tim Dog on Twitter. That's what we're doing. How fucking unserious are we? That's the thing that makes me upset. It's like,
I think in their minds, though, Gears is a system seller.
But you got no system to sell.
They're going
right?
to.
I think the better idea for them would have been, hey gang, because Asha likes like giving hard medicine, right? She's had like these 2 manifestos going, hey, right now we're in a component crisis. Don't ask us why. But for the next 2 years, we're going to fulfill our contractual obligations to our partners and other platforms. Once Helix is out, you can expect every single game to be an exclusive. I think that sets the stage. I think that draws the line in the sand clearly, while you're in this time of, I'm trying to find any bit of profit I can. And I think that makes way more sense of going, just 2 games, the rest we're showing off for eBay purposes. And it's like, all right, cool. All right, sorry, that was my TED Talk. I got very angry, and you can see red like a tomato. In a segment I like to call There's only one blade. There's only ever going to be one blade. Kyle Stevenson, take it away.
This comes from Mike Straw of Insider Gaming. Quote, fine. 2 of the studios I've been told, including getting messages from employees at the locations who are scared, are Compulsion and Arcane. Despite public messaging, many within the studios have expressed real worry and have overheard conversations about the future of the studios, end quote. And then from French journalist Sylvain on Twitter, quote, I'm not some super American insider, but I can confirm it here. The closure of Arcane Studio isn't a quote-unquote possible risk. It's a reality much closer than you imagine.
Here's the thing. Tim Purr writes in, no way you could promise 2 years. That would be suicide for the business. Console's not selling. It's already not selling, right? Because they're like, the demand for this console doesn't reach our supply needs. I can go on Best Buy right now. I'm going to challenge this theory. Kyle Stevenson, you go talk. I'm going to find if Best Buy has a link that I can buy a Series X and X. Go. You take it away. What are your thoughts on Blade? Go.
I mean, it's going to be the same of what I just talked about. It's a bummer. Again, super talented studio that isn't afraid to take swings, are full of style and substance, and not giving them the full chance, I guess. And that's pretty much it. Like it just sucks, because I think an Arcane, a Blade game made by Arcane has so much promise, right? Like Light, you talk about loving Deathloop. Deathloop is awesome, and to think that they were given the Blade license, oh my god, I would still love to see it happen. I would, but like I don't know. I don't know what's going on, and it's frustrating. I want to shake the whole industry. Like, stop it.
Can one of you look up how Deathloop sold? Because this is one that really is a head scratcher for me, because I brought up their website just to make sure I was remembering the games correctly. They make Prey. Everybody fucking loved Prey, didn't they? Am I wrong in that?
I think the players loved it, but critically it didn't do well.
Okay, I thought I'd only heard good things about Prey.
There was a flip. Critically did very well, commercially questionable. But when it comes to Arcane as well, we think of things like Dishonored, that soul.
Well, I was going to get there, but yeah. So Dishonored, those games did well. I thought everybody I know loves Dishonored, so I guess I just assumed those games did well. Deathloop scored a perfect 10. I mean, I don't think it sold like hotcakes, but
so for Deathloop, they tout 5 million players across all systems, so they don't go into sales from what I can see.
Okay, so obviously Redfall was a major fail. That was a major blunder. No question about that. But when I look at the rest of their lineup, Deathloop, Prey, Dishonored, all those are, again, well-known names in the gaming industry that I feel like people love. So I guess if they didn't sell as much as I thought, maybe they're like cult classics where the people who played them loved them, but they didn't sell a lot. Maybe that's why. But again, it just shows you how much changes in 1 year and how much it's changed from Phil to Asha, because I say multiple times, I can't say who, I can't say what, but I know as of last year, this game was in full production, full steam ahead. We didn't have a release date, but I had it on good authority. They were chugging along and things were going well. And now we're potentially closing the studio. It's like things are changing like crazy between Phil to Asha. And I think, you know, it sucks. It majorly sucks. But we don't see what they see. I don't know. Like,
yeah, it's hard to talk about because it's not real yet.
Yeah,
it's just the super dark cloud that is over our favorite hobby is just it's oppressive.
And goes into, Joe, what you were saying. I hate all of these leaked stories. I've always said that. Yep. I've always said I hate leaks. It doesn't matter if it's a trailer, if it's this game's going to be at this showcase. Oh, this breaking story. Listen, we hung out with some people from Insider Gaming. They are very kind people. I fucking hate what they do. I hate it.
Sure.
I'm sorry. I do. That doesn't mean you're not a good person. That doesn't mean I really enjoyed my time hanging out with you. But I hate this because it's, as of right now, it's all rumor mill speculation. And sure, things have been corroborated and verified from people who work. But until I hear from the company, it's just, it's like drama for drama's sake. They're going to tell us the exact answer. Then we can be pissed off about it. But until then,
my defense for that is, if this is the way that teams are learning, I get it. Because sometimes you're like, Tom, do you really need to share that like Assassin's Creed is launching on July 4th, whatever? I get that. But when it comes to, hey, people's livelihoods are on the line. They have this deadline of the July 30th. You know, and this is the way these teams are learning about these things.
Yeah, but don't you think Xbox is going to have those conversations with the team?
I think they're going to have those conversations with the team when they get the email and they're locked out of their Slack. Because that's oftentimes.
Yes, but how is it how is it any better reading about it on Twitter from an inside source? Like,
I think because now we have the time to process, to get your resume in order, and then to also ask the hard questions, right? It's not about like, well, you know,
I don't know.
To me, it truly, it's like, what would I rather have, the severance packet, the surprise in the severance package in July, or the month and a half head start of like, hey, maybe I should get my resume in order because things aren't looking right.
So this is not the same. I was a teacher. Okay. So it's not the same. And everybody handles stress and stuff differently. When I was teaching, I was a special education teacher for 4 years. And then I switched into history. When I was history, I was bottom of the food chain. So even though I had been in the district for 5 years and I wasn't bottom of the food chain for the district, I was bottom of the food chain for that department. My district was going majorly in the hole. We were struggling financially. There was going to have to be layoffs. There's going to have to be layoffs through attrition. I did not hear from my administration that there was going to be layoffs. I heard through the rumor mill and through the inside sources that there was going to be layoffs. And I was sat down and said, hey, just a heads up, you're probably going to be laid off because you're bottom of the food chain. We're doing everything in our power so that we can hire you somewhere else in the district. But that did not help me at all. I did not get my resume in order. I just sat there and fucking panicked. It didn't help me. And I think this is a completely different conversation than what we're supposed to be having right now.
Right.
I'm just saying, I don't think that actually helps the people in these situations. I think it makes fanboys on both sides talk. I think it makes people who don't have all the information speculate and cause drama and stir the pot. And it fucking pisses me off on every side. And I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. Sure, maybe some people are going to look at that and be like, well, fuck, my game's on the line. Maybe I should apply other places. I don't think that's most people, though. I think now most people are just panicking. And do companies do it the right way when they lay off people? No. And they shutter studios? No. We have seen multiple times where people have found out through Twitter posts from their own company that they're getting laid off. I'm not saying that the companies are angels here, are doing it properly either. What I am saying is I have a hard time talking about this right now when it's just rumor mill and we haven't heard from the companies, and it just, the whole concept as a whole, I don't like. And I wish we would let the actual companies say what they need to say, and then these articles can come out. I talked to this person. It's this also X, Y, and Z. It's worse than we thought. Blah, 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 blah.
As somebody who has been laid off previously and has been living the past 4 or 5 months of my life under a huge cloud of uncertainty, both scenarios suck. And it's, I think having a heads up on a public forum is still not great, and doing it the right way of sitting you down formally and telling you is also not great. It's demoralizing. It's scary. It's awful. And so, like, yeah, it's not great. And I'm also with Light. I hate the leaks. I hate reporting on it. I wish this was stuff we didn't know about, if I'm totally honest with you. I'd rather be blissfully unaware of what is going on and just talk about the games and the people who make them, and not have to report on people losing their jobs in the way that we are doing right now.
Like Sports said, the fact that Xbox is keeping very quiet, not a great sign. I'm not saying all of this isn't true, and I'm not saying that Xbox is handling this well, because they're not. Criticism where criticism's due. If this wasn't true, you should be very vocal right now, shutting these rumors down, and they're not, which tells me that they're probably true. It just something rubs me the wrong way about this. And then in terms of my story, at the end of the day, I didn't lose my job. It was all for nothing. All that drama, all that speculation. So maybe in some of these cases, 3 of these studios are getting shuttered, but one of them isn't. There's going to be massive layoffs, but they're not getting shuttered. Or maybe they're going to be spun into something different. Or maybe they're trying to figure out ways, how can we take these people and close this studio, but move all these people here? I don't know. And I'm not saying Xbox is doing it well, because I just don't like it. I don't like this. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I don't like it, but I do disagree with both of you guys. I think it's a necessity. I think we got to put pressure on corporations and companies at all costs. It's kind of like a conversation I had with a friend of mine when it comes to AI, right? And they're like, listen, working in that field, I don't believe it's the big boogeyman. I don't believe it's the great savior. I just think it's a tool that exists, and it will continue to exist. And it existed long before I got into the field, and it will exist long before after I exit the field. But it's great to see folks and put the pressure on these corporations' necks, or else they'll take everything. And so for me, it's whatever little pressure that we, the consumers, could put on corporations to sway their opinion on any which way or shape or form is important. And for me, it's also about giving the information and empowering the worker to do with that information the way that they should. Whether that is giving them the notice to make a resume, or giving them the notice to ask the hard question to their supervisor to get that clarification. Or even just to go, okay, how does my severance work, or whatever have you, to give that extra leeway. Because more often than not, we see these vague things of Microsoft sending out employees, offers of resignation. If they take it, they get a severance package. Or you see more often than not, corporations just give you a fucking email and go, all right, best of luck. Here's your severance. Have a good one. Bye. And then just kick you to the curb. So for me, it's really me and my mom Donnie element of no, put the pressure on them. It does it suck? It's awful. I wish I didn't have to talk about this type of news, but like we if there are folks asking those people that are in those levers of power the hard questions enough that puts the pressure on them enough, even if that just saves one job, I think that's worth it.
But do you like realistically, yes, putting pressure, we're always saying like vote with your wallets, whatever. Realistically, do you think people being mad about this on social media is going to keep a studio open? I don't. I think if they were going to try to save jobs, they were already going to try to save jobs. If the studio is going to close, it doesn't matter how pissed off people get. It's not changing their minds on that. That's too big of numbers for that to happen.
No, there's no poll on Twitter about it, so they're not taking it seriously.
It's kind of like the rumors of the 007 sequel, right? Amazon, after the game came out, they're like, hey, listen, that was a fucking previous deal. We're the owners now. And then the audience kept on going, yeah. Shut the fuck up. We want more of this. We want to make sure that it's them making the next one. And they're like, listen, we own the IP, and everybody was loud enough going, okay, listen. All we're saying is that we're publishing the next game. All right. They're gonna make another one, right? It's those aspects.
Yeah, but that's a different scale. I don't mean to be curmudgeon-y, and I don't mean to be like a thorn in your side, but like
Tango.
It's
right?
not. That's not the same thing, though.
Think about it like Tango. Tango was getting closed down, right? There was pressure being placed on them, and through that news, they found a buyer in Crafton, right? So like, if we keep pressure, maybe they're going, okay, listen, we can't just simply deny the sale of Double Fine because we don't get all the money back from it, right? But we'll take this small hit for a smaller PR win. And I think that's what you're seeing them spin off or attempt to spin them off. And I think maybe pressure being placed on them could go, okay, listen, we can't. Look at how angry they are on social media. Holy shit. It's almost like we announced another female protagonist. Fine, we'll sell you Ninja Theory and maybe give you a better term than we originally thought, because we need a slightly less damaging PR win or a ding to us.
Yeah, I guess the last thing I'll say, and then I'll shut my big mouth. I just feel like that's not from public pressure. That's something that they're already trying to do. They're not going to try to do that because we're pissed off at them. They're already trying to do that, though. Like, sure, maybe it would give other studios an incentive to buy them, but I don't think in situations like this, I don't think public pressure is doing jack shit.
So I would say, think about it like, I'm going to say WB, but it could be Universal. When they started deleting files of actually made games, made movies. And one of them was the Wile E. Coyote movie that's coming out this year. And they're like, they denied the sale of it to, I forget the owner of it, but they denied the sale to it because they're like, it's not enough for the tax write-off. And then public pressure happened, enough negative PR happened where they're like, all right, fine, we'll sell it to you $50 million.
Again, though, different scale. That's a movie versus entire studios to keep your whole entire company afloat. That's my thing that I'm stuck on. The scale of this is much bigger than all of those examples. I don't know if public pressure is going to have any indication on the scale of this, because it's just too, like, this is Xbox completely falling flat or not, completely shuttering or not.
It sounds like they're purposely letting all this conversation happen and not addressing it for them to take the opportunity to use when they do help transition it to another buyer. Be like, hey, we're the good guys. We were getting rid of them. Now we're going to help them go somewhere else so they continue making games together. It just feels like a weird PR spin that they're looking for a win in a shitty situation. That's my point of view.
I think they're trying to unload people. I think they're trying to get the easiest win, but I make that analogy. No analogy is one for one, whether it's like the WB or the teaching situation. But I make that analogy because, again, public pressured them to do something that they took a financial hit on, regardless of whether it's a studio or a a motion picture. It was just public pressure going, okay, we can't save Batgirl because that's truly an abomination, but maybe this Wile E. Coyote, maybe this one will give me the win. So it's like, for me, I don't find the problem in that, because you're right. It may not do jack shit, but it may, right? It could. And I'll lean on to that bit of hope. Because to me, I think it's all about empowering the individual. And for me, it's like, what better way to empower the individual than information? And how else would anyone at Leon know? And how do they get to enact some? Maybe Double Fine knew longer than they've let on, and maybe that's why they unionized. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a lot of wheels and cogs in place. I just feel like the information is better in our hands. Yeah, sure, there'll be pieces of shit out there that use it for no good, but for the folks that are actually going to go out there and make that difference, I think that information's better in their hands rather than the email at the end of the day on a Friday. That's just me. That said, we got some super chats. Tommy with the gifted 5. Thank you so much, Tommy. You're amazing. I also believe we got a super chat from Jonathan Kelly, 1979. Thank you all so much for supporting us the ways you do. I know, a very tense situation here. And you're right. Listen, we don't know everything until, and these are only 3 we know, right? There could be another 3. There could be none of them. Like someone in the chat said, like in the beginning of the show, it's like, how funny would it be? It's none of them. Right? Like it could be, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Godspeed for all those developers out there. And I hope you guys are fighting the good fight. That's all. And for, I don't know, man. If it's like Ninja Theory, what the fuck are we doing? That's all. And whether it's PlayStation that continuously makes the worst turn imaginable when it comes to their live service element, or when it comes to this reset, the people that are hurt are the workers, and that just sucks. It just sucks. All right, gang. All right, enough of that. Let's end the night with some goodness, okay? No more segments named of other segments. Guys, what you been playing? Kyle Stevenson, what you been playing?
Not much, because there's been a lot going on, so I haven't felt the urge to play anything since I've gotten back. I did watch the Jumanji movies though over the weekend. Those are surprisingly fun.
Okay,
good time.
I like both of them.
Danny DeVito, The Rock doing a Danny DeVito in the sequel is incredible. But Tegan and I can finally chat about, I think, the last game that was embargoed that we saw at SGF. We can talk about our time with Hellraiser, the game from Saber Interactive. I'm blanking on the studio name, but I can look that up. I know, I'm going to preface this right now, and I think Light, you're with me on this one as well. I have no history with Hellraiser, correct? Light, you as well? Zero besides one horror story about when my dad let me watch it with him in Florida, and I was way too young, and I had nightmares for months after, and I noped out of it real quick. Yeah, I know the character's name's Pinhead, and I know that he holds a cube. That's
gruesome.
Yes, that's all I knew. And I'm happy to report that I loved my time with Hellraiser at SGF. It was like a 20-25 minute demo. And it plays just like a Resident Evil, but it's sexy and kinky. And apparently that's what Hellraiser is. And I mean, you laugh, but that's pretty much what it is for people.
Just talking about the controller getting hard.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. That controller is made for Hellraiser. Yeah, some BDSM, a lot of like horny notes that you pick up in the game and whatnot. But like it plays like a first person Resident Evil, similar to like 7 and Village, and the Grace segments from 9. It's, I think my favorite part from the gameplay perspective is if you do enough kills, you gain enough power to use the cube ability, which you can like grab elements or things from the level and then use that as ammo when you run out of ammo, because I ran out of bullets real fast.
All the time.
All the time. So the fact that you could use the cube's powers to use the environment as well to help you, I think was super cool. But I was like blown away by the puzzle design.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like what was that? There's like a rotating room puzzle that tricked me up a little bit. I think you actually found something that I didn't even look at when you were talking to the devs.
And before we get in, I'm sorry, because I was doing show notes stuff behind the scenes. I heard of this game plays a lot like Resident Evil 7 in terms of like, this is a first person game or something like that.
Yep.
I'm a coward. Okay. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah. What was I saying? Puzzle. Yeah, there was a middle. It's also developed by Saber, by the way. I just had to look that up. It's called Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival. There's a puzzle room where you had to like rotate platforms to make it to the other side. That took again, it's one of my favorite sayings when it comes to a puzzle. Like I had to rewire my brain to figure it out. But once I did, it was like, oh, okay, I get it. And then hearing Light talk to the devs afterwards, like, Light, you found something there that I didn't even see.
Yeah. So you bounce in the game, you bounce back and forth between like reality and the underworld. I don't know what it's called. There's like a specific name for it. That's from movies, but I don't remember what it is. And you have these moments where you're in reality. So everything works the way that it's supposed to. Physics is physics. But then you're also go into the labyrinth, and in the labyrinth things are very much like control-ish, where physics does not apply the same way, and it's creepy and it's dark and it's more like psychological horror-y in there,
like the PT hallway demo.
Ooh, okay.
So in one of those instances, there was a puzzle, like Kyle said, where you could shift the room. So it was not necessary. It wasn't. I'm not gonna say it was a hard puzzle, but I definitely like had to think about it. And then I made it to the other side, and I see this little pillar sticking out, and I was like, "Well, what's that? I didn't see that before." So then I'm trying to figure out how to get to the pillar, and I get to the pillar, and it was like a perk, and it increased my suffering. And I looked at the dev. I was like, "Wait, was that a bad thing? Should I not have done that?" But apparently, increasing your suffering is good. In this world. So then I had to like refigure out the puzzle so that I could get from the pillar back to the other side to get where I was going. So like the puzzles were good. They're very much like Resident Evil. There was like safes and things that you could find, and you had to go find the code in other areas. So very Resident Evil-ish in that way. But the labyrinth definitely reminded me of like a Control, or even like a Death Loop or something, where you're being able to do things that aren't necessarily like physics.
Yeah. And like Light was mentioning, you pick up notes that reference a code to this lockbox, and you got to find the code. I gave up on finding the code because I couldn't find it. So, but like, there are those very traditional survival horror elements, but I'm really enjoying it not being based around zombies as the enemies, and just the world feels different enough. And what's the word they mentioned? Like, it's not jump scare horror. It's like psychological, and
let's just say I'll be jumping at a lot of chains, because it's very much a building the suspense. And you're fried, because every 2 seconds you're expecting something to happen, because there's like weird noises and there's weird visuals, and something's going to happen, but you don't know what. And then you walk into something hanging that's like an inanimate object, and it freaks you out because you're expecting something. And
there was a moment when we were in that like PT hallway where you pick up a cell phone and it's these text messages, and you put it down, and as you walk away, the phone buzzes again out of nowhere, and that made me jump a little bit. And I went back, and there was more text messages, and now you can go through the door to extend the puzzle sequence. Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Okay.
I had a giant jump scare that was embarrassing because it was loud and everybody laughed.
It was awesome. But also in that same section, because I like you've spoken about your Silent Hill 2 history of the chain moment. There was I turned a hallway, and you probably couldn't hear me because you had the headphones on. I chuckled so loud because it was just chains everywhere. It's like, oh, Light's gonna enjoy this.
I did jump at that, but it wasn't a loud one. It was one of those like that.
Yeah.
So nobody saw that one. But
it comes out. I believe they put out the release date. I think it's October 6th this year. If you're into survival horror games, especially the most recent Resident Evil ones, have this one on your radar. I think it's going to be a good time, and I think they mentioned it's going to be somewhere around like the 12-hour mark, I think.
And from what I can tell from people who do like Hellraiser, this is very faithful to it. So if you're a Hellraiser fan, still sounds like it could be for you.
Yeah, we got people in the chat letting us know what the references were. Like the realm of what is it? Levitation? The cube of configuration? The Leviathan? Like, yes. I was too scared. You can't put me in that, no matter what.
But Joe, there are boobs in there.
Lots of boobs.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, can't say I'm a fan of murder boobs. Classical take on the boob. All four. But murder boobies? No can do.
Murder boobies.
That's when my dual sense gets soft. All right.
Oh boy.
All right. I like a B cup, not a murder cup. All right. Gang. I reminded myself here in the notes because I did not know we could talk about this game so early, but I played Ace Combat 8, I believe. Kyle, if you want to.
Oh, yeah. Something to Thief, I think.
Something. As you get
Wings
that.
Wings of Thief, yes, Ace Combat 8.
I played Ace Combat 8, Wings of Thieves, from Bandai Namco. Shout out to them for giving me the opportunity to get my hands on this game. I am not a pilot type of person. All right. Anytime I'm in a plane in a game, it's a bad time for the plane because it's going to meet the ground. Unless you're Star Fox, and the only reason is because there is no ground. So I'm awful at flying games. This is legitimately my first Ace Combat game. And can I say, for someone being a complete noob, you did the thing, Ace Combat. I flew pretty competently. Pause. I crashed 9 times. Now, that said, I was expecting to absolutely not enjoy my time because I'd be crashing like crazy. Luckily, with Ace Combat, several opportunities and also the ease of the controls made it so that even in just the 50 minutes that I got to go hands-on with it, yeah, it was pretty darn intuitive. Being able to fly, being able to balance, absolutely. There's a learning curve for me being a big dumb noob, but I found myself towards the end of it getting my wits about me and actually getting into these dogfights and learning how these dogfights actually worked. Thought it was a ton of fun. While the story is very, very campy. It's like, hey, gang, we watched Top Gun Maverick. Also, I don't know if you're on Earth because you're like the Federation of Airplanes versus the Confederates of Airplanes. Like it's a very silly like premise. But besides the silly premise, I actually think that there's something here for people who love these games and for newcomers alike. I actually think there's a lot to it. So though I am still awful at this game, it surprised me how well it controlled and actually how much fun I was having with it. So Ace Combat 8, really enjoyed my time. Also, for someone who crashes all the time, very fast to get right back into it and very rewarding on the checkpoints, by the way. So, if that's your jam, that's your jam. Ace Combat 8. I very much enjoyed my time with it. That said, not as much as this next game. This game was one of my favorite games that I played here at SGF, and that is Stuntman Hollywood. Oh my God, guys. Uh man, and I say this with all the compliments in the world. It feels like the Stuntman games of the PS2 era. It's like, hey, gang, we're here to have fun. This is not like a racing game that's about you getting into first place. This is all about you're a stuntman. We're gonna throw all sorts of hijinks at you, all types of explosions, like ground shakes, earthquakes, all that jazz, while a director yells in your ear. It's so much fun. And for the 15-minute demo that I got to play the DeLorean. And there was like a scene where it's like, hey, hit this ramp, and you go sideways, and then you're going super fast, you're like hitting the boost at the very end, and you go 88 miles per hour. Oh my God, gang. Yeah, am I bumping this up a score or two because it had the DeLorean and it was so much fun? Absolutely. But I love how this game does not take itself seriously. It's here to have fun, give you a good time, and I really enjoyed what I played of it. They gave me, I think it was like 4 or 5 classic scenarios. They're playing with the Universal IP. So you saw Knight Rider, you saw Mad Max stuff, you saw Fast and Furious, and of course the beloved DeLorean. And I bet there's a lot more in there. So Stuntman Hollywood, played it. I really enjoy it. It was a really good time. This one is going to be one of those. I'm gonna put it on my radar for sure. Death Race as well. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Also played it at that same appointment after.
Oh, did you?
You left us because we were supposed to play it as a team, and you were too much of a scaredy cat. And was like, wow. I gotta play Stuntman first.
I had to play the game that I have to talk about next week.
Fair. But yeah, I remember playing the Stuntman games back in the day, but not like extensively because I thought they were too hard for me back then. This one plays well. It's super quick. The scenarios are fun. I was terrible at the DeLorean one. The on 2 wheels segment kind of ruined me. But yeah, it was a good time. Each segment is, I don't know, what was it, like a minute long?
Yeah.
As you were watching,
2 minutes tops.
Super quick, and you could restart it and whatever you want. But the set pieces are awesome. It does feel like you are on a movie set. And yeah, it felt great. I'm just wondering how much meat is on the bones. Like how many different scenarios per IP are there? And like how much is there for me to do? I guess I will say. Because if you are only tied to Universal IP, how quickly are you going to run out of things, I guess?
Just put the DeLorean in it. Answers your question. I asked them.
Fun little arcade game, though. For sure.
Yeah, I'm 1,000,000%.
Very fun. I did ask them. I go, you getting the train from Back to the Future 3 in here? Can I drive this train? They wouldn't say. And so that leads me to believe that I should keep pressuring them.
Is the train from Back to the Future?
Gives the shit.
It's on rails.
You're asking all these questions like I care, brother. I need to drive the train. Choo choo.
That's fair.
No, the only other vehicle they confirmed was a motorcycle will be in it eventually. I think they confirmed, but they wouldn't give us anything else because Kyle asked about like flying or anything like that. But they would not confirm nor deny.
No Tropico 7 news. I'm so sorry. Or was it Tommy? Tommy right in. No Tropico 7 news. I wish.
My dad also had another game he was really looking forward to that he was hoping would be there. Light No Fire or something like that. Like No Fires. Okay.
Yeah. Nothing
I don't
there,
know.
my friend.
And I was like,
oh, is that the Hello Games one, I think?
I have no idea.
Yes, I believe so.
He was like, check and see if Light No Fires is there. And he goes, that's the name of a game. And then another text. I'm not telling you not to light fires. I'm like, thanks, Dad. Yeah. I had no idea.
I like to think that he thought there was a small possibility that you read that and was like, you know what? Let's start a fire.
Let's start some forest fires, baby.
Let's go. SGF 2025. We're starting it back up.
Pyro. Let's go.
Yeah. So those are some other games we played at SGF. Is it a little annoying that there's still more we got to talk about next week? Absolutely. But excited to talk more about it. That said, gang, Kyle Stevenson, is there anything in the drop? Should I be holding on to something? Anything at all?
Yeah, I'm holding on to my little wrench from Tenebrae Somnia.
All right. What about you?
But yeah.
Wait. What's
sorry.
holding up?
This is hand sanitizer that's also
Yes.
lotion.
Ooh.
I am holding up Voltaren because my knees hurt sometimes and I need to put cream on them.
Look it looks like lotion.
Oh.
But it rubs on like hand sanitizer. It's bizarre. And it smells like vanilla. It's yummy.
I don't know if lights camera froze for anybody else.
It did.
Okay. But you just had your hand out with a little dollop and it just froze there like that. Like you were so proud of this little squirt of hand sanitizer.
Sorry, I guess my controller was hard.
It's all right.
Oh, he was playing Hellraiser. Anyways, Next week in the world of PlayStation, we've got on June 23rd, we have Deer and Boy, which looks super cute. I can't believe that's already out. Frostpunk 2, Breach of Trust. I believe that's an expansion. And Warhammer 40k, Dark Tide Sikatari. Sure, dude. June 24th, we've got Deltarune Chapter 5 and the Necromancer's Tale. On June 25th, we have Dead or Alive 6 Last Round, Abyssius, and Flesh Made Fear. And I believe that is it for next week. Games are taking a breather right now. They're just waiting for September, I feel like.
Come on, guys. Let's push us, get dates back. or forward. I would love to play Zero Company faster. All right, gang. That said, it's time for our favorite segment, but sadly, the last segment of the show. And for this episode, actually, you know what? We need it. It's time for the Sony Pony Express.
Yeehaw!
That's right, cowboy.
Cowboy Danger D writes in, question for the Sony Pony Express. Yeehaw! Been a while since I've wrote in. Do you own any obscure controllers, flight sticks, racing wheels, the crazy mech controller from Mech Assault on the original Xbox? I guess mine would just be my Kitsune Razor leverless hitbox. As always, much love, shiny side up. P.S. Over or under, the good will always be nice. Appreciate that, Cowboy Danger D. Do I own any obscure controllers? As I think about that, I want to shout out Gaming Forte for the $9.99 super chat. Glad to see the channel growing. Always impressed with the level of chemistry this panel has. Just wanted to show my internet family some love. Also, congrats on the free Xbox. It's a great feeling. Thank you, Gaming Forte. But only one of us is getting a free Xbox.
Just to go off of that and to go back to our debate, Joe,
Yeah.
I think that's like the best part of our chemistry is we can have this heated debate and like still fully respect each other, and it's not, we weren't angry, we just had a healthy debate. And I feel like that's so refreshing because I mean, I'm sure there's others out there, but I feel like a lot of shows it's like you have these debates and it's really just people angry at each other. And we have great chemistry and we can have these healthy conversations where like we don't agree, but we both can express our sides and we can both respect each other and still be best friends at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And I just think
I fucking hate you.
Not to toot our own horn or anything. Fuck you, Joe.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
I was about to say, I'm over here like, speak for yourself. Like, I love.
I was like, I hate you both. What the fuck?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Wines are soft.
Absolutely not.
I'm sorry, I can't let it go.
No, it's great. I want
That's
this.
got to be a
thing.
shirt. My buttons are soft. Oh my god. Obscure controller. Like, I wish I still had a Guitar Hero controller. I think that's as obscure as I get. Or like a Dance Revolution pad that I used to play Madden with in high school. That was fun.
Yeah, I don't have any obscure controllers. I just have like collectible ones.
Yeah.
Guys,
I would love for one day to own the weird ones. Like Resident Evil 4 back in the day had the chainsaw controller that looked like a chainsaw and still had the DualShock. I think there was an Onimusha one that had looked like it was like an actual sword that you would play. Like Capcom went weird with it big time.
Hey, Xbox, we want people to love you again. Make a freaking controller with the gun with the thing.
The Lancer.
Thank you. I have a migraine. My brain's not working.
Good. I just thought of a situation with that controller where like you're mashing like the X button or whatever during a QuickTime event or whatever. Like you got to break free, and then you just hear something out of the speaker, and you're like, "What is that?" You're like,
"Don't."
DualSense, are you talking to me? And then like you lean in. I'm like, "What are you saying?" You lean in, and it just goes harder.
When I was streaming, I had a sound from my friend where he would go, "Oh yeah," and it was like a thing you could redeem. So when you're mashing the button, your controller just goes, "Oh
yeah," and the haptics go crazy, and it's rumbling and shaking, and then it just gets quiet. And then his trophy pops up.
Emphasis on the popping up.
Hey. Anyways, Cowboy Danger D, I don't think we own any obscure controllers, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
Jeannie writes in, "Hey gang, this is more of a personal question. What do you do to cope when video games aren't enough? Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, everybody." I don't know. What was that?
I said Happy Pride Month, Luke. Oh. He's not in the chat.
Proud of him. I'm probably the worst person to answer this because I just kind of sit in it. Like I don't actively try to seek out other things. Like sure. I'm in one of those now personally. Like I'm not even playing MLB The Show daily. Like games are just not hitting, which is a bummer, but yeah, I don't know.
I just have a variety of hobbies. So if video games aren't hitting the way that they're supposed to, I just shift to one of my other hobbies, like throwing myself into a book where I can just escape my reality. Or coloring or finding like a new hobby. Like I got those little, have you heard of like woobles where they teach you how to crochet, something along those lines?
Oh, that's cute.
So like if something's not hitting the way it normally does or helping the way I want it to, I'll find a different creative outlet because creativity helps me. So starting to write a book or getting a new coloring book and some new markers. And, obviously you can't buy new things every time you're down, but getting like the fresh coloring book with the fresh markers or a fresh notebook for journaling, like junk journaling or something along those lines. But having a creative outlet in some capacity, whether that be something new creative or a different thing that you haven't done in a while that you can get back into. But having like multiple hobbies, I think helps because when one's not helping the way that it normally does, you can shift to something different.
Yeah.
For me.
Actually, I'll throw this up here just for the rest of this question. Because Tommy writes in, big advocate for therapy if you can do it. 100%, man. I started going to therapy in the beginning of March, and I love my therapist. She's so wonderful. And so, like, even right now, where like I'm in between insurances because I'm starting the new job and it doesn't kick in until 3 months. Thank you, America. I still see her once a month, and just to kind of validate some thoughts or just to speak on something I may be confused about or frustrated with. And then they give me the tools to better myself because I did a lot of the wallowing in self-pity and and really saying that I needed to go, but doing the whole procrastination bit. Yeah, I was like, it's so hard, so difficult to find someone. It's so easy. It's 5 minutes, and you feel so much better doing it. I've cried so many good tears. There's nothing better than when a therapist says you're very brave for thinking that. I love that. So, yeah, therapy, number one thing. If you're in a dark place and you can do it, do it. It's awesome to have people to lean on, right? Whether it be a parent, a friend, a sibling, whoever. But they also can't give you the tools to, do the thing. These people, that's their job, to hand people the tools to unlock, those barriers. So yeah.
Go on a little hot girl walk.
Hot girl walk, listen, it's hot girl summer again.
Find a playlist that makes you feel like a badass. So you strut your stuff and you're doing a little hot girl walk.
A little Megan Thee Stallion on.
My favorite thing to do is put on like a wrestling theme and then walk down the driveway like I'm entering into an arena. It was it's why I actually I texted Mr. Light the other day because the TikTok came up of somebody doing that walk into a movie theater, and he was the one person I knew that I would feel had similar feelings to me. It was like every damn time I do the same thing. So like I also do that, and that helps a great deal.
For me, I'm pretending I'm back in my runway days. I'm strutting down the runway with my hot girl walk playlist.
Got a little bandana on.
Got a bigger sway on.
For me, so like today was a very stressful day for me. Had a lot going on, but I had someone cancel on me last minute, and I was like, I'm going to take this time. These 2 hours I would have been with a client. I'm going to take this time. I'm going to go to the gym. Man, does that make me feel better all the time, man. Those endorphins hit. You do something that it was hard for you in the beginning to do, but now it's like normal for you. Even like, before the show, I had to like put some, freshen up a little bit. And so I had to like
he had to powder his nose.
Powder my nose and have my shirt off. And I did like this little move with my arm just by movement. I was like, this muscle I never saw until just now. It's those things that make you feel happy. Also, last but not least, the one way I got a lot of ways to go. Watching shows, discovering new shows. Go watch Widow's Bay. It's incredible.
I've heard great things.
Really good. Oh my God. It was like Stephen King without the cocaine and being on the list. Great show. Then I've been watching The Pit. Oh,
don't watch that if you're in your feels. Don't watch that if you're in your feels. Don't do it. Great show. Don't do it if you're in your feels.
I concur.
I love Mel. We need a Funko Pop for Mel.
I'm sure there is one.
I tried. She's on Grogu level to me. She is so gosh darn adorable. She's my favorite character.
That's awesome.
Love her to death. Hate the Crimson Chin. She sucks, and I wish nothing but the worst for her.
Crimson Chin?
Yeah, that's what me and Amy call the lady that's mean to everybody.
The bully one.
Yeah.
Oh, Santos?
Yeah.
Real asshole. So yeah. Don't like them, but like I love the show. I'm like, this show's incredible. There's oh my God. Talk about being in your feels. There's like one part where it's like I cried. Good tears. It's like this ritual that they have for like non-spiritual things of like the 4 things you say to someone. It's like,
oh, you hopped right into season 2?
No, that was season 1. Season 1. It's like, I love you. What is it?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
I love you. Thank you. I forgive you. I hope you can forgive me. I was like, full.
Oh, like I said, don't watch that if you're in your feels.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
no.
You got the rookie. Rick killed a guy. All right. Yeah. So
do you know he's a voice in Liza P?
Really?
He's one of the guys who sell you things.
Tommy, Shrinking is my show as well. I got comfort food shows. Shrinking is the comfort food. Ted Lasso as well. Comfort food shows. Phenomenal.
My comfort food shows are so nerdy. They're like Sci-Fi Channel exclusives, like Eureka, Stargate Atlantis, Merlin, Warehouse 13.
Oh yes.
Mine are like The Office, Parks and Rec, Modern Family, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Nine?
What's the other one? How I Met Your Mother. Like those are my comfort ones.
I also have I also go through rotation of New Girl, Big Bang Theory, and Friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Friends though, some of the jokes don't land now that I'm older and wiser, but like overall it's still fine. But there are some where I was like, ooh. But I will go through like either my nerd show rotation or my comedy show rotation, like my rom-comedy show rotation.
Stop being mean to me or I'm going to fall in love with you is something I say all the time.
I will also shout out my favorite YouTube series that I watch every single week when it comes out. It's called Jet Lag the Game, where it's a group of friends and they play like hide and seek in random countries, and it's awesome. It's a great time. They have one now that just premiered the new season today of it's the United States base, and they have to go do a challenge in a state, claim it, and they have to connect. They have the longest line of connections throughout the states, and it's super fun. It's a great time.
Also, if you like more along those lines, not exactly, but more like competition style, but like friendly competition on YouTube, Taskmaster.
Oh,
they have Taskmaster UK, Taskmaster New Zealand, I think.
So good.
So funny. Every season has a different cast of comedians, and it's so good. Please, they're free on YouTube. Just watch them. So
Jason
good.
Mantzoukas, I think, was on the last one, and I love Jason Mantzoukas so much. Oh, that was a good season.
Oh man.
Jeannie says House. Shout to House.
House, good show.
Everything
Castle.
is not Lupus, right? What is everything?
Loved Castle.
Yeah.
Well, what's the joke in that? Is it Lupus?
It's been so long. I don't remember.
No, it's never Lupus. It's never Lupus.
Yes, but at the same time, it's always Lupus.
Yeah. Also, Castle, speaking of Nathan Fillion, The Rookie, such a good, bad cable
Firefly.
show, man.
Oh, Firefly's so good.
Let's go. All right, gang.
Last one.
Last question.
Tealy Surrender.
Tealy writes in, my question is, outside of your favorite game, what is one game you'd like to be an NPC in, and what is your role? Being a random NPC in Cyberpunk would be cool, to be honest, LOL, or even 007 in the Ship City location.
Dude,
I got
you
one.
want to die. That's a death wish.
I got one right away.
Yeah.
I want to work at the dispatch center in Dispatch.
Oh, good one. And you're safe, too.
Uh-huh.
What say you, Light?
I don't know.
Remember, if it's Skyrim,
Cyberpunk, something like Cyberpunk would be cool, but the city's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
And everything's dirty. So that's what I struggle with, because all my favorite games, I don't think I'd survive in those worlds, if I'm being completely honest. And it has to be besides my favorite game. Like I feel like with Skyrim, I could do like Skyrim, and I could be like a professor in the Mages College or something like that. You know what I mean? Like something along those lines. Let me think outside the box though with that.
I feel like most of the other games that were in contention when I read this are like games with way too many threats looming.
Right.
Starfield's pretty safe.
There you go.
I'll be in New Atlantis. I'll be a shop owner in New Atlantis, not in the Undercity part, in the nice, squeaky clean part where we can pretend there's no issues. You know?
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, Halo. And then I'm like, no, I'm going to get a chest restaurant.
I was also thinking Citadel and Mass Effect, just owning something on the Citadel and Mass Effect or something. But
that's what I was thinking.
That one little blip of time where it's not really safe. Other than that, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Delayed chat says I'd be an NPC in Crazy Taxi so I could say, take me to Kyle's house. I mean, it's crazy over here. I don't know if you want to come here, but
there was a murder.
A cab driver in Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
Years of War, I'm going to get jumped on.
Exactly. Last of Us, I'm not surviving.
I'm not surviving that.
Hell no.
No, my ass is toast.
I don't know, Spider-Man. He's going to save me. Good chance.
I mean, technically, Uncharted, you're just living your life.
Right.
And you're none the wiser.
What about something in Baldur's Gate?
Huh. That's not bad.
That could be
because depending on where you are, you're safe, right? I haven't made it very far in the game, so I don't fucking know, but I think so.
There's a pretty big thing that comes to later.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I would say
Final Fantasy. There's a comet moving over the entire planet.
Bloodborne. I'm gonna get sick. I'm dying before the night. You kidding me?
Maybe Kingdom Hearts, just being a random Disney World. That's not too bad. As long as you get to pick the Disney World. Jeannie says Monster Hunter. Never.
William Jameson writes Elden Ring. Fuck it. Make me a pop. Let me hang out with Alex.
Where are you going to live in Elden Ring?
I don't know. Melancholy.
You're going to go live in Stormville Castle?
Yeah. It's nice there.
Fort
Property
Gale?
value's fucking sick.
No.
Yeah.
The house from Resident Evil 7, Beer Baron says.
Well, okay. You made a very convincing argument with Resident Evil.
Raccoon City.
What if am I in the timeline with Ada Wong, perchance?
Oh my god.
Oof.
No, Jonathan Kelly. Nobody wants to live in Arkham. You kidding me?
Hands. Let me tell you something.
Rapture?
No way, dude. Ugh.
Maybe at its peak. If this is like peak time, this is a different conversation.
Yeah.
But current status of the video game? No. My ass is toast in all these games. First of all, no Dr. Pepper, instantly screwed.
Yeah.
No flushing toilets. IBS, no thank you.
Mm-mm. Oh yeah, no, I'd be blowing up bathrooms. I was gonna say maybe Witcher 3, but
Witcher 3, you can't even walk out your front door without getting freaking attacked by a water hag.
What about Horizon? Okay.
But then for me, that's like, I don't know. I'm too accustomed to my house and running water and toilets, you know?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I'll just say this, and then we'll close the show. I would love to be the zombie that is taken down by Ada Wong. I bet she has great animations for that.
Wild.
Sacrifices had to be made.
It's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think I would mind being in Death Stranding. Just live underground. And whatever I get delivered to me, I think I could do that.
All right, fair enough.
World of Warcraft. I know.
I was gonna say.
Hear me out. I understand there's war. But if you're in the main city, you're good.
True.
You're good. For the most part, depending on the city.
If you're in Orgrimmar, depending on
the expansion. You know, originally I was gonna say Darnassus, maybe not so much anymore. Stormwind, though, that survived everything.
Yeah. It's a good layout. That's a good city. Undercity? No. Pass. Lake District? No thanks.
Undercity, you know that reeks.
Oh god, it just smells like
Thunder
ass.
Bluff, that could be a good one. Although I'm not very good with edges, so maybe not for me. I might accidentally fall over a cliff. But Thunder Bluff could be a good one.
Yeah, I think I would thrive in World of Warcraft, I think. Loktar Ogar. Come on. Board. Let's do it. The Alliance are wusses. Let's keep the war in Warcraft, by the way.
New Age has a good one. Pokemon would be kind of cool.
You just can't really explore the wilds very much. Just stay in your little hub city.
All right, gang. That's it. That's been the Trophy Room this week. Great questions, by the way, gang. Great, insightful conversation and debate. I love you both very much. Before we get on out of here, I would like to thank our patrons for over on patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. I want to thank Brian Somnia at the gold tier, Foolish Fuji at the bronze tier, Brett Chartman at the bronze tier, Big G at the bronze tier, Corey Greer at the silver tier, Skylar at the bronze tier, and Speedy B at the gold tier. Thank you all so much for supporting us, our newest members. Now on to our premium members or hidden members, Todd Burwitz, Caleb Cook, Toxic, and Tommy. And of course, K-Rock's Kiddo Cullen. I want to thank our platinum producers, JC, K-Rock, The Shady Mailman, Tommy, Slapfunk66, Manex Vision. I want to thank our gold members, JB, the Purple Monkey, Katie, Kevin Mitchell, The Red Arrow, Drug Prowling Wolf, Lord Hatchie, Solo, staying carbonite free since 1983. Silver members, Rick Arrington, The Good Sir, Kevin Diaz, Astronaut Jr., The Jester, Sean McKenzie, Suddy, Steph Mildener, Jace Karate, Battered Haddock, The Social Savant, Lord Dialot, and our YouTube members, Jason, Jonathan Kelly, Nisa Howard, The Kush Completionist, Mr. Light, Freight Conductor, Strubles and Bits, Tommy, Genie Love, Stefano B415, and NES Encyclopedia, Connor Wing, 1575, and Reese. Thank you all so much for supporting us the ways you do. Of course, you can head on over to Patreon and support us there. That's the easiest way. If you're in the YouTube chat, you could throw us a super chat or a membership like Jonathan Kelly, like Tommy, like Gaming Forte did. Thank you all so much for supporting us the ways you do. And listen, if you have no bucks to toss away, that is a-okay. There's also great free ways of supporting this show as well. Like if you're in the live chat, hitting like, share, subscribe, and even hitting that hype button. If you're on podcast feeds, rating us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify really does a whole lot. It helps grow this show in a big, beautiful way. So thank you all so much for supporting us the ways you do. And with all that said, and with all that out of the way, everybody keep your wits about you, keep hunting, and keep playing PlayStation.
Bye, love you.
Bye.